Silver can be quite addicting, can't it? I know personally that I get excited when I pick up a new piece of silver that I'm putting into my stack. And I think a lot of us that are into silver stacking do. I think sometimes it can be beyond the realm of rationality when it comes to investing in silver. And I definitely include myself in that because I have went above and beyond, or overboard, if you will, on stacking silver many times in my life. In other words, I knew it probably wasn't the best opportunity to buy silver. Maybe the price was too high or the premium was too high. But at the same time, I still find myself buying it. And I add it to my stack and I tell myself all the time that, look, it's not like I'm buying it with the intent to turn around and sell it for a bunch of profit. If the spot goes down, it's okay because I plan on holding it for a long time anyway. But it still doesn't change the feeling that you get when you buy a big piece of silver or a lot of silver rounds or whatever it may be. And then you look at spot price just a week later or even in just a couple of days later, and it's dropped quite a bit. Nobody can tell you that they don't care because the truth is they do care. Whether or not they are worried about selling it immediately and they're worried about that immediate loss is irrelevant. The truth is we all wish, I know that I do, that we could have waited just a week. And speaking of waiting, by the way, I want to remind you not to miss out on your chance to get entered to win a full monster box of Silver Eagles at our sponsor, SD Bullion, by going to sdbullion.com/silverseeker. Now back to the video. But, you know, I've said in my videos, and I've said it many times, that I do not possess that mystical crystal ball that many people that I see, and not just my comments, but in the comments on other channels, think that they do. And I'm not knocking people for believing that silver's going to do what it's going to do. If that's what you really believe, that's great. But like I said, I don't have that crystal ball. So predicting, you know, things like silver is going to be $250 next year, and saying that just based on pure speculation because you're worried about CBDCs or anything like that, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because I've talked again so many times, and it might sound like I'm beating a dead horse or whatever it may be, but I have talked so many times about keeping rationality when it comes to buying silver, even though I just admitted in this very video that I have been irrational in making decisions to buy silver. I really have. So I guess that the point I'm trying to make when it comes to, you know, talking to you about silver, and I do so many videos about silver, and sometimes it's like, man, what am I going to talk about next? Because you can only say the same thing so many times. But one thing I realize when I'm talking about a silver, even if it's something that I said in a video just 4 months ago or 6 months ago, there are so many people that have never heard me say it or have never heard anyone say it. And I'm going to give you a perfect example. In videos where I talk about 90%, I did one the other day. And I talked about, you know, I called the coin shops and I found out what they were buying it times face for. And then I took that number, for example, 21, and then multiplied it by 1.4. You would not believe the number of people that said, where does the 1.4 came from? Just a couple of months ago, I did a huge video on 90%, how to do the 90% math and more. Now, I'm not holding it against those people for not knowing. The fact of the matter is there are so many videos on YouTube, even in the silver space, that you are not going to see everything. But one thing I want to remind you, whenever you hear me say something that I may have said just a few months back, remember, I'm not just talking to you, but I'm talking to a whole new group of people that may have never actually heard me say it or anybody say it before. I'm sure many of the things that I say in this very video right here are going to fall straight under that jurisdiction of there's a lot of people out there that have never heard me say it before. And so for that reason, I just want to remind you that when you go into stacking silver, do yourself a favor and don't make irrational decisions when doing so. And again, I say that even knowing that I personally have done so myself. It's very important to stack silver responsibly. It's very important to stack silver without the idea that it's going to make you rich overnight. It's really important to stack silver without thinking that you're going to become rich. It's going to be the next GameStop or the next AMC or the next Bitcoin or whatever it may be. It's really important to stack silver for the very, very, very long term. And how long might you say? What, 5 years? No. 10 years? No. Stack silver for 20 years or with the intent to leave it to a loved one when you go if you don't think you'll be here in 20 years. And I hope that that's not the case. I hope everyone expects that they'll be here for a very, very, very long time. But the truth is, there's those of us out there that may be suffering from health issues or getting way up there in years that don't believe they'll be here in 20 years. And if that's the case, if you're buying silver right now, just do so with the idea that it may not get to where you want it to get. Silver may not get to that $100 an ounce, and we may not get into that situation where silver is used in trade and barter in your lifetime or even in mine. So buy it with the idea that it is good to have as insurance. It's good to have just in case we have that situation, but it is not something that you want to happen. It's kind of like car insurance or health insurance. You buy it in case things happen, but you hope that they never do. So that is my little video about silver today. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, do me a favor, don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you support our sponsor because that's one of the best ways to support me as well. And we will see you in the very next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.